Hello. So we are going to do a video, an explanation about things you might feel and are not as necessarily that what you are feeling, because there can be some mix-ups in this. You know, especially when feeling other people, you might feel like that is from them. But it might be from them, but it still might be that it's triggering something from your own. So it can also be that both of you have this topic, because then there's the resonance and both of you just have that. So I recommend always like checking in when you're connecting and you're okay, this person, what is he feeling, how's he doing, he has this and that, okay. And then you like after that you can break the connection and then come back to yourself and go, okay, I felt it in me. Is there something in me being triggered with that? If you felt it from the other person in your heart, you're gonna go back and be like, okay, heart, how are you doing? How does this topic feel to you? Because you just want to check in. You don't want to put a boundary and then you're like, okay, that's their topics and their problems and I don't have anything to do with it. Because sometimes you might, sometimes it might be just a mirroring and it might be showing you also your own topics. So that's one part of it. And then there are those kind of beings, like the darker ones, also like especially higher demonic beings, which might make you feel really, really, really good. And it might not necessarily be something good. And, you know, that's kind of weird and paradox in some way. But feelings like, you know, a strong desire or a need or, you know, just kind of strong feelings of like power and force and like a lot of energy coming through you, that is positive in a way, but it can also be negative. So, you know, the positive stuff that come out of it is you having a lot of energy and this power to do things and move them into life. But those kind of things are often also influenced by that darker side who wants it to turn into greed and desire and just becoming money oriented, sex oriented, and just focused on, you know, business and achieving a lot and just becoming power greedy. And it also comes with like a lot of this inner power and this wants and needs and desires. So that's why I ask you to differentiate. Like, at what moment does it still feel good and neutral and grounded and out of this loving space? And at what points does it feel as if it's consuming you, where it's overwhelming you, where it's like too much? And that's the same with anger, you know, it can be holy rage where it's positive, where it's moving you to transform the surroundings and giving you a lot of motivation. And there can also be this anger that just wants to destroy everything, and there are always causes for that in you. You know, if there is jealousy or anger or greed or desire being influenced from the darker beings, then it's because you still have some things in you resonating with that. So they are only going to make you more angry if you have some unprocessed emotions before that. Or they're gonna make you feel jealous if you have some envy and are not having something in your life that you want. Or they're going to make you have a very strong desire for sexual activities because you haven't learned how sexuality can be so strong and about love and connection and about reaching those higher states by barely moving. So it might just be about fucking, you know? And they are very good at masking all that and making it seem as something good. The darker side of things, I mean. It's very good at lying, and then your mind is also very good at lying to you, so it might be putting like this whole story around it, making it be founded on a lot of explanations and very grounded, and it seems like it's the right thing. So I always ask you to question yourself and be mindful of yourselves and what is going on in you. Because what you feel and you see and you experience as the right thing that might be going on might not actually be it. Reflect on yourself. Reflect on yourself from this higher up perspective where you judge the things neutrally without very much going into that, but stepping back and just observing, becoming neutral, becoming at peace, and just seeing how might that be my thing, how is it positive, how the aspect might be negative, is it mine or is it coming from somewhere else, is it being inspired or high-end by a different being. So what is going on in myself? And also especially with people doing channelings and any sort of thing where they connect to other beings and hear other beings, because with hearing it can be especially tricky because you don't see them, so it might be easy for them to speak in a different way and then you don't even notice it's something else. So especially for people doing that kind of work with the other beings, you want to learn how to differentiate between the different ones that they are and not focus on the ones that are promising you power or that are lying to you. You want to focus on the good ones. And the dark beings might feel powerful, but there is in some way the balance that you might not want to keep, because I believe working with the light beings, and at some point I'm like, both of them are there for the right thing, and even the dark side is making all of us grow, so both of those sides are actually very helpful in life. But when I go through life, I want to focus on my own path and connection to the source and not on those beings. And if I want help, I'm gonna get them from the light side, and the dark side is there to help me, trigger me, and guide me along my way so that I don't go to that. So yeah, learn to differentiate your feelings and your experiences and all the different things you do, all the different work you do, because there are also a lot of spiritual teachers out there who are not doing that good of a job, in my opinion, but I'm gonna keep that to myself. So learn to differentiate and always check in with yourself. What is going on? What is, in my opinion, the right thing, and what is it not? So don't let yourself be influenced by beings or people, and just keep true to yourself. Stay in your own truth. Stay very centered in your being.